Sorry about that. My phone seems to be wanting to do some weird stuff, so I can't seem to rotate it. There we go. Now I got it. I'll fix the title later. I was trying to type it and it just wanted to go immediately on to the thumbnail, so I do apologize for that hiccup. So what I have here is what was part of Minotaur Trading Company's monthly subscription service, which is no longer on their site, and it hasn't been for quite some time. But for the ration of the month for May of 22, this freeze-dried single meal ration, I believe it's a vegetarian based on the title. So this is also part of their larger, like their full kit, where you got the ration of the month, their survival kit of the month, plus other things. So this would have been part of that for May of 22. So a standard MRE bag was used and just a Minotaur label put on it. So the seal opened fairly well. So up the top is an accessory kit with a very, very small spoon. Open that in a bit. A sweet and spicy snack mix, and a clear vacuum sealed bag, which is also gusseted. This is a dry cheddar cheese powder. And this is a beef bouillon powder. This is the orange creamsicle dessert beverage, and there's a lot of powder in here. And these were put into gusseted bags, but there's no way you can get the requisite amount of water in here and still mix it up. Skyflix crackers, the onion, peanut butter dark chocolate snack mix. So these could be like dark chocolate M&Ms. Creamy strawberry oatmeal. This is like a 12-hour ration, so we'd have breakfast and lunch. Now this is that Country Boy bean stew. And it's filled all the way to the top. So there is no room for preparation in this bag, I don't think. Plus there is a zip seal, but the product is right up to it. Yep, it says 3 different kinds of beans, plus rice and seasoning. But because the beef bouillon is here, you could throw that into the mix. But I suppose once the vacuum is broken, then I might be able to get the water in here. Then the last things that are in here are 2 drink powders, a sun-kissed peach, and a Skittles orange. And that is it for the contents of the bag. So that will serve as my trash bag. There is no hot drink option in this. I'm going to go ahead and open this. And open up the gusset at the bottom, so that will knock the food down. So I am going to go ahead and put this beef bouillon in here. There is no salt or pepper, unless that's included into whatever seasonings were added. Plus this bouillon is salty anyway. The light colored powder. Because this bag is so tall, I went ahead and brought in my longest teaspoon. See, this is the spoon in the accessory packet. Very short. Actually, there may be a coffee in here, so I will go ahead and open this. Yep, there's a taster's choice. So I do have something for the drinking jar. There's a wet wipe. So there is 2 packets of salt. Not a salt and pepper. A bazooka gum, which is hear how hard that is. I dropped a packet in there. And these coffee packets are great for on the go. They're great for putting in your get home bag, your EDC bag, your bug out bag. Or your camping food bag. Plus, these are a good size for barter. I put the coffee on top of the creamer and sugar. So I am going to go ahead and put the water in here first and mix it up. And then I will mix up the coffee and I'll be right back. It's hard to pour into these smaller bags. I will get a paper towel and wipe that up. I'm taking the kettle back into the kitchen anyway. Let's see, I'm going to see who all is in here. Yep, it's a take two. Let's see, there's Emphasis here, there's Cliff, SNJN Preps, I just say Sinjin. There's CR is in here. There's Mike in the house, my crusher. I'm shaking the bag with the 3-bean stew in it. I'm kind of giving it a little bit of a squeeze as well. I'm not going to bother with this, but I will hold on to it. That's oatmeal. And I'm not going to bother with this orange creamsicle. It says dessert beverage. It's kind of like an orange milkshake. That's pretty much what it is. There is no other dessert option. And I could go ahead and do it. I would have to get another water bottle, but this cheese powder, you add a tablespoon of water and you mix it up. Although I really don't see anything that here that I could put this on other than these crackers. And since I got two different flavored drink mixes. I got a peach and an orange. You know, I could actually do that. Although I probably should have done it at the beginning because almost all of the water is absorbed. But I want to taste this without the cheese. So I think I'm going to sit on this cheese powder. Now, as far as these two drink mixes, I've never had any of these Skittles drink powders. I've had some Crush drink powders. And maybe a couple of these Sunkist ones, but the peach one I've never heard of, so. I'm going to give this one a shot. But I'm doing it in the drinking jar instead of the full size or the full amount of the water. Now, I could have poured it into this bottle and then just pour some out, but I'm going to do it that way. This almost looks like a liquid version of the color of the humanitarian daily ration bags, with maybe a little bit more towards the pink and less of the orange. There's spicy tuna rolls in the house. Now I'll just add just a touch more water to that and call that good. I'm going to move this over here next to my coffee mug. Burger Butt and Burger Butt. At least Dave is here. For those coming in late, this was the May 22 ration of the month when Minotaur Trading Company had that subscription service active. But I did not subscribe to it. I got it in a box of goodies that was sent to me by one of the other ration lovers. So now I'm going to open up all these. There's additional pieces of chocolate in here. In addition, actually, these would be like either peanut butter M&Ms or the Reese's Pieces. Let's get that focus back. Now I'm going to open up this spicy one. The sweet and spicy. I'm going to open up these Skyflakes crackers. I had a tiny bit of breakage, but not too bad. I'm getting a bit of everything that's in this snack mix. This has kind of a sweet coating on it. A peanut inside. So the corn sticks. And then this is a spicy seasoning on this peanut. It's actually not too bad. using a few ounces shy of the full amount of water, I get the full peachy flavor of that drink. So all that's in here. Yeah, this is a peanut. It just looks kind of weird. Dark chocolate pieces. More of these sweet bits, kind of like what is in this one. Reese's Pieces. And the dark chocolate. So that's all there is to that one. I'm going to open this one up. Even with the beef bouillon added, I am getting a spice scent off of this. In fact, I probably could have used a little bit more water. Because the rice really soaked up the water. So I wouldn't call this a stew anymore. I would call this just beans and rice. I'm going to call that good. I can definitely taste the spice even with the beef bouillon flavor added. The beans are fully rehydrated. That beef bouillon did definitely add some salt to it. And it made it a little bit darker in color. There's corn in here as well. That rehydrated very well. So did the rice. What I am going to do is put some of this on top of this onion skyflakes cracker. That little bit of onion flavor definitely works with this. I'm glad that when this was put together, the bouillon was added to add a little extra flavor and give someone the option of having the flavor of meat in this otherwise vegetarian dish. Even though there's not as much of that stew look to it, I'm so happy with it. Storms, Radios, and Cats is here. And Sharon is here. Good day. It is Monday on Sharon's side of the international date line. So these Skyflakes crackers are a great addition. This is the onion flavor. The I apologize for the title. For some reason, I was trying to type it, and the YouTube app immediately wanted to go to the thumbnail. So I did not get a proper thumbnail. Well, I hope for those who are getting rain, you're getting it where it's needed. I know Ciara is happy to see the rain, considering the wildfires that are still burning at both ends of Canada. I might do a little something with this. Just for sheer heck of it. Some of these corn stick bits. This and That with Matt is in the house. Yeah, we had a little bit of rain last night here in Des Moines. So I did not water my plants today. I watered them yesterday after I shot my garden update video, and I had replanted my tarragon seeds, which hadn't sprouted. You know, the rain we got last night, I think that helped out a little bit. Gave them a little bit more of a drink. And we're supposed to get some rain tonight. We didn't seem to get a whole lot last night, but we did get some. In some areas, even not too far from me, people were getting a lot of thunder and lightning. I didn't hear a whole lot of thunder. And I really didn't see any lightning because I had already closed my blinds by the time the rain started. I shot a little clip last night, but because my phone camera was backlit, the light from, I'm hoping that the light from my living room didn't really mess up that shot too much. But I posted that same video up on Facebook as well as YouTube. I have heard that in some places that usually get a good amount of rain this time of the year, they haven't been getting too much. In one video I watched today, over in Europe, the guy said they haven't had rain for over a month. And a fire ban was about to be instituted, so when he was at his little off-grid cabin, he chose not to have a fire. He didn't, even though he's got a little a fireplace inside the cabin, a little stove. He chose not to even use that. So he brought some dried meat, which he shared with his dog, and he brought a beer, and of course, water for the dog. Yeah, we are expecting to have below normal rain. June is supposed to be our wettest month, but we haven't had a whole lot of rain here. And this is the time where the fields and gardens really need it. So if you can't water, you're basically up a creek without a boat. Yeah, I had seen that from a channel up in Alaska that I watch, where he's building a cabin on the site where he has been staying in a camper that he keeps there. But he said they have been getting a lot of rain, and it slowed the progress on some of the work. Up there, like he's adding a deck, and he hasn't, it's not a log cabin, it's just a traditional stick frame with 2x4 studs and your basic roof trusses that he put metal roofing panels on. It's called Sean in Alaska, SEAN in Alaska. Okay, I'm going to switch to my live chat. I was on top chat. I hadn't switched it. I just didn't bother switching it yet. But yeah, I'm actually not subscribed to him, but I have enjoyed watching his videos of the progress of his build, and he keeps chickens up there. So he's working on the cabin outside of his regular job. But the rain has definitely slowed the progress. But he actually lives in it now, or at least he sleeps in there, because it is fully enclosed. He's got the windows in. He's got the he doesn't have anything over the house wrap or the Tyvek wrap. But he can live in there pretty much. He cooks outside. Or on rainy days, he'll go inside his camper. Cook in there. There are some other homesteading type channels up in Alaska. I haven't watched a whole lot of those videos, but I have taken a peek at a few. Like there's one called Homesteading in Alaska, and then Rogue Preparedness is back in Alaska. She spent a winter there for a while, and then she went back to Texas. But she and her family have moved back to Alaska. I guess they went back to Texas because they wanted to take care of a few things down there before they made the permanent move to Alaska. So she is a prepper, but she is going to work at establishing more of a homestead type setup on the land up there. Yeah, Shaun the Sheep is not one I've heard of, but the channels Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, they are a husband and wife couple, but they each have their own channels. They have an off-grid cabin up in Alaska, and they will go up there to spend some time. And they have to use rainwater catchment to collect the water that they use, aside from hauling it in. Because up in Alaska, they would call that a dry cabin. You know, another channel I watch up in Alaska, Alaska Prepper, he lives in what is called a dry house. Meaning that he does not have a well because it's just too dang difficult to dig a well when you're basically sitting on bedrock. So he has a couple of water tanks. One, when he was building his house on that land that he bought before he retired from his job on a military base, he built part of it around one of the water tanks, and then he added a second one. And then he goes to a water station with a tank that is permanently mounted in one truck. So he has a truck that's specifically for hauling water. So he doesn't have to take that tank out whenever he's not using it. So he uses that to go get water from one of these water stations, and then he connects a hose to that tank, which runs to the tanks under the house, and then he turns on a pump, and that pumps the water from the mobile tank to the main one under the house, and then he added another one so that he can keep it filled and have additional backup water. And then he has a reverse osmosis system that treats the water for the whole house. Instead of having individual filters on the faucets. I think that's how it works, but because he is a prepper, he keeps additional filtering and treatment options available, just like I do. I have filters, including that one that I recently won off of a giveaway. It was a Facebook giveaway, and that one includes a water bladder. So I have 2 water bladders, but the one that I won is set up so that I can connect that filter to it without having to cut the hose. My other water bladder that I was sent to test, I would have to cut the hose in order to put an inline filter in there in between the water bladder itself and the bite valve. There's Robert in the house. Thanks for dropping in. You're looking at what was Minotaur's May 22 ration of the month when that subscription service was still active. That has not been active on the site for quite some time, but it was sent in by one of the other community members who has graciously sent some rations in to me. This is a chocolate peanut snack mix with Reese's Pieces. And this is a sweet and spicy snack mix. This is a Crush peach flavored drink mix. It came in a stick like this orange one. This one is a Skittles orange. This one might make it into my camping food bag, or I might save it for the last meal that I have for the Chef 5-Minute Meals 72-hour ration. I still have 1 meal left to do out of that, but I chose to do this one tonight. Either that, or I could do this creamsicle drink for that. This one also came with a strawberry flavored oatmeal, but I'm going to sit on this one. This one may make it into my camping food bag. And then this is cheddar cheese powder, which I chose not to mix up. So I might save this for another time. Or I just might sit on it for a while. I wasn't sure about putting it in here because I wanted to taste this by itself, but I did that. I did add the Herbox beef bouillon powder in here. These are the onion flavored Skyflakes crackers. These are awesome. Yes. It's been almost the same here, Robert. We had a little bit of rain last night. But the grass is starting to brown. And most days I would water every day. But I didn't today because not only did I water my plants yesterday, but we had some rain last night, and we're supposed to get some more tonight. So I will know tomorrow what I may need to do. But I have been hearing lately on a local radio station about below normal rain for the rest of the summer, and we have not had a whole lot of rain this month, and this is supposed to be our wettest month. Yeah, it's supposed to be this coming week. We're supposed to have at least 2 days where we could hit 90 Fahrenheit or go above it. And maybe slight chances of rain in about 5 or 6 days time after tonight. And we have had air quality alerts Friday and yesterday. But I checked, and it's in the normal range, although the high side of normal as far as air quality goes. But for some people, even the high side of normal can still be a bother, depending on the type of particulates that are in the air and how often they hang around. On the air quality scale that I see, if it's above 50, that gets into the moderate pollution level. And as the number gets higher, the severity of the pollution gets worse. There is a Shadow Scout Suite in the house. Thanks for dropping in. It is morning there in his little piece of Sweden. So I am having a vegetarian entree, but I added the packet of beef bouillon powder that was included to give it a little bit more flavor, and that does help. It does not cut the spiciness. I think it just kind of adds a little depth of flavor. Again, I apologize for the title. I will fix that later. I was having some issues with the app trying to get it to do everything right. It used to capitalize the first word or the first letter of every word when you're doing a title, but now it doesn't. So I would have to take the extra step of capitalizing the first letter of each word when doing the title. But it does allow you to have up to 100 characters for a title instead of 60. So it gives you an extra 40 characters. So that is a plus. So there would be less I have to fix later on, which I do like. But why it wanted to mess up. So there's a very short start, but it wouldn't. I was holding, it kept telling me to rotate my phone, but it was already in the right position, and it wouldn't let me switch the camera view. And then my phone just shut off completely. I don't know if I might have done that when trying to put it into the phone mount. I might have done that myself. But then I tried to resume it a couple of times, but it just wouldn't do it. So that's why I ended up starting all over. And it went to thumbnail image capture before I could even finish the title. So I did not get a proper thumbnail like I wanted. But once the stream ends, I'll fix all that. So when anyone goes to watch the replay, at least the title will be proper. I decided to take a break from the Chef 5-minute meals. Wanted to do something a little different. And I looked into my ration box and pulled this one out. I actually do like this main. I just think I could have gone with a little bit more water even than what it said, because rice and beans absorb a lot of water when they're rehydrating. So that's why it doesn't look like a stew. Thanks for dropping in, Robert. So hopefully those who are still able to celebrate Father's Day, I hope everyone is having a good time. I haven't been able to do that since 2009. My dad died in November 2008. Oops, sorry, I keep bumping this thing. This thing right here is actually a part of the phone mount. It's a little handle and that I use. I hold on to it when I'm opening the jaw to put the phone in or to take it out. Well, thanks for dropping in, CR. Enjoy that rain you're getting up there. Yeah, he is up in Canada, and being that Ontario is next to Quebec, there's a lot of smoke up there. There is Steve Brahms, also known as Willie, one of my fellow Iowa YouTubers. And very, very busy farmer with greenhouses, outside gardens, an orchard, and some animals. Very, very busy. And he is probably wanting to see a couple of good rains too, just like the rest of us. The Brahms family have a very, very nice setup down there. I have camped on another part of the property down there with some other YouTubers. It's a great spot to just get out of the city. I have not fished the pond yet. One of these times when I get a chance to go back down there, I am going to fish that pond. Dang, going to get some more of these Skyflakes crackers. The Brahms family sells at farmers markets around their area. They're so busy, they're like human-sized bees. Yeah, finished that off. That was pretty darn good. And this mix does have some kick to it. but I like it. Okay, we'll still be here. Instead of having a piece of candy in the accessory packet, this piece of bazooka gum, but it's rock solid. But I'm not going to throw it away. Who knows, it may come in handy one of these times. And this little spoon, shorter than my 4 enamery titanium spork, so if you would have got lost, you get lost in this bag. But I'll save it. It'll go into a bag of plastic spoons that I have, that I save for emergency use for when I have to severely restrict my water usage. So if there comes a time when I have to go that route, I will use my plastic utensils, my paper plates and bowls, and some of my cups, I don't have a huge number of them, but I have some plastic disposable cups, but I could reuse those. And when I've gone camping with my family, we have even been known to wash our plastic utensils if we don't have a whole lot of them. Plus, we take metal ones too, but in case you don't have enough of the plastic ones, we tend to reuse them. Plus, for those of us who doctor up our coffee, there's a spoon that's left out specifically for stirring the creamer and sugar into the coffee. It just gets rinsed off after every use. And this wet wipe will go into a bag of wet wipes that I have. So that's why you don't see me use those, because I figure Why waste it on a not so emergency purpose when I can save these in a bag and stash them away for later use. These salt packets will go into my camping food bag. I have a Ziploc bag. Actually, I have two of them. I don't take both of them with me on a trip, obviously, but I just keep them both in there. One is a backup to the other, and it may contain a few seasoning packets that the other one doesn't have. So I choose between the two. But anytime I get little packets like this out of a civilian ration, or I get an accessory packet in a boxed lunch, say when I go to the DART Transit Rider Advisory Committee meetings and we get lunch, anything out of that little utensil packet that I don't use, I don't throw it away, I bring it home. And so they get added to my stash. So I have an extra napkin, goes into a Ziploc bag that has napkins in it. When I inspected those Augustin Farms 24-hour emergency ration bags, I took the sporks, the napkins, and the salt and peppers out of there and redistributed those. And the water bags, the water pouches, I put those inside of a Ziploc bag, and those are inside of a bucket. And the second one that I bought, which is the meal kit. The first one I had, I think, was meal kit B, or is the reverse, I don't know, but anyway. The one that did not have a busted water pouch, there are all 7 of them in there, so they all got separated out. Just like I separate out the water pouches that go with the flameless ration heaters, or though that water has been treated with something to help make the ration heater work. So those are inside of a Ziploc bag, inside of a hard container, separate from the heater bag itself. And those tactical food pack rations that I got, the heating elements were outside of the ration bag, so when I open those up, I will not use them, but the ration bag itself is designed to be the ration heater bag. So if I were to use that bag as a ration heater, I would put the retort pouch in, or I would open up that element pouch, take the element out, drop it in the bottom, put the retort pouch in, drop the water in, close it up, and the steam would come out of the vent holes that are punched into that bag. And because those bags are so big, you could probably put a larger container, say like a larger size retort pouch, or two or three, or maybe a hot beverage bag with a coffee and water in it, and just heat it up that way. So I will save those heating elements and those ration bags and then put them together in a place where I store all of my flameless ration heaters. Those were made in Estonia, but they were shipped from a different country. So Emery Mountain got them from a different country other than Estonia. And I am so glad that they were not rated by customs, so I will be able to give a proper review to those. And I look forward to trying those. Sue of Eats, Treats, and MREs really enjoys those tactical food packs. She can get them so much easier into England. I don't think they have the same customs issues like we do here. But with us ordering from outside the country, it can be hit or miss. And I'm glad it was a miss on their part and a hit for me, because I get to eat everything that was originally put in that bag. This peach drink is pretty good when mixed with 13 ounces of water. Yeah, it is a sugar-free drink, and I'm getting that aftertaste, but this is such a convenient size and shape for these things. Very, very portable. I do like that about those packets. There is CT in the house. I've already finished off the main. Which I added the beef bouillon powder to. And I could have gone with a little bit more water than I did, because the rice and the beans absorbed all of the water. Yep, they are perfect for that. In fact, I have a couple of them in a Ziploc sandwich bag in my purse, so I keep some in there. I also have a couple of packets of coffee, like the Taster's Choice. I keep those in there. I have more in the Get Home bag. And then I have additional drink mixes in the food bag that's in my bug out bag. And I also keep some of these in with my I have a Ziploc bag that's got all of my drink mixes, cocoa, tea, coffee, some packets like that. So they are very convenient for that. But these are about the only sugar-free things I will drink once in a while, because the sugar substitutes mess with me. So if I consume a lot more of it, I'll just say it's not pleasant. No, I have not. I looked on the site today, and I have not seen that on there for a long time. In fact, there's very few items on there. There are a few MREs, some of the newer menus that I want to try. There is still what he called the medium-sized mystery box. So there are some of those. And then these like 48-hour and 96-hour emergency kits that have like 2 or 4 days worth of food plus other stuff in there. And some of it's freeze-dried or dehydrated. And then there are a few other items on there. So I don't know if he just is just going to sell out and not do it anymore or what. I don't know. I haven't gotten any notifications of any posts on the YouTube channel. So I don't know what's up with that, but at least with this time from MRE Mountain, I didn't have my order rated. I got everything that I asked for. Yeah, and then he and some different guys started something called Valhalla Survival. I never did get my order from that, and that site is no longer accessible. So I put in a fairly sizable order on that, so I'm basically out that money. And I have not had any communication from him about that. So I just eat the loss. And I just have to go elsewhere. Now, all MREs is still an option for buying some stuff. I heard, I think last year, that Emory Empire is no longer shipping to the U.S. I had only made one small order from them just to test out their shipping speed and all that. You know, I would have liked to order from them again. Well, I think that might have to be my plan B. Oh, there's Tracy Phillips in the house. Thanks for dropping in. You're looking at what's left of this vegetarian. But there's a packet of beef bouillon powder, so I threw that into the bag to add a little extra flavor. And these Skyflakes crackers, these onion flavor ones, awesome. Oh, speaking of CT, he put up a new video about a Casey's pizza. I haven't watched that one yet, so I'm going to hit on that one later. For those that don't know, Casey's is a convenience store chain that has its headquarters in the suburb of Ankeny. So they are very local here. Yeah, I know. He's given some awesome stuff to me in the past. And I hope he keeps a few for himself so he can have some good road food. Those long drives can make a person hungry once in a while. Too bad that one wasn't any good, Tracy. I haven't gotten anything from Taco Bell in several years. If I wasn't near a Tasty Tacos, then I would consider Taco John's. But like any place, it depends on the location. And who's doing the cooking, whether they are good at it and do it right, or if they screw it up. Uh, Friday, I was supposed to cook lunch at my mosque with another woman, but the woman I do it with had to make an emergency trip to Chicago to deal with a family issue. I don't know what, but it had to be pretty serious if she hauled tail out of Des Moines and couldn't find another substitute. And I can't handle all those heavy pots, 3 of them, because we make that much food on Friday. So the meat had already been thawed out, so I just cooked up that ground beef, seasoned it, bagged it, and then put it in the freezer for use another day. So I left the mosque, and then I went out to my favorite lunch spot, which has Ethiopian food. And then there's a bunch of guys who also like to frequent that place, and they happen to be in there ordering at the same time. So I had never met any of them. Well, maybe a couple of them in passing, because they know how I am with the mosque kitchen. And, I'm always in the mosque kitchen whenever there's an event going on there, especially during Ramadan. So either they see me in there for that, or I'm in Hillel picking up stuff for the mosque. But anyway, one of those guys decided to buy my lunch so I wouldn't have to use one of the gift cards that someone else had given me. So that was pretty awesome, have someone else buy my lunch. I was not expecting that. I had chicken in a very spicy sauce, which they put a boiled egg in. And that is definitely spicy, but it's not so spicy that you can't taste the flavor. And then I had some collard greens. And then I got rice and injera. I always get the rice and injera. You can get one or both. But I like the injera, so I get it every time. That is made out of teff flour. and it has a very distinct tang to it. It's spongy, so the texture might put some people off. But I happen to like it. In fact, this restaurant makes it for halal groceries to sell. In fact, when I was in Hillel the day before picking up something for the mosque, I got a bag of onions to chop up to throw in the freezer for later use. There is a woman in there who got 2 bags of the injera. And those things are about as big around as this tray is wide. And there's like 5 of these rounds in a bag. So she bought 2 of those bags. So they go through a lot of that injera. So I will find out sometime this week what's up for this coming Friday. If we will have lunch or not. Thanks for dropping in, CT. Safe travels wherever you're going. You will probably be putting up a video in the near future about where he's recently been. And will he get a pizza or will he review Ration? In the past, he has done meetups with other YouTubers. So if he happens to be in an area where another YouTuber lives, and if both can make it happen, they may have a little meet and greet right there in his truck. So it's always cool to see when he gets to meet other YouTubers in person. Maybe share a pizza or something else and just have some good conversation. I wanted to come down here and try my favorite pizza, which I haven't had in a while, but it's called Fong's. They do Asian fusion pizza. Sorry about that, I had a brief disconnect. As I was saying, Fong's is a restaurant here in Des Moines. They do Asian fusion pizza, such as a crab rangoon. or the filling of a crab rangoon is spread on a pizza with a few other toppings. That's really, really good. And they'll do like a barbecue chicken pizza. They do your 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 traditional type pizzas plus some other fusion. It's just a fun place. In fact, it has been on Food Network. I think Guy Fieri has been in there. And I think Andrew Zimmern would enjoy that place because he's done the bizarre foods. But yeah, Fong's Pizza has been featured on the Food Network. Talking about it makes me want to have some of their pizza in the near future. But I think CT would enjoy trying some of that. As far as next week, I might finish off that Chef 5-Minute Meals one. I have the beef chili with beans. That's the one entree out of that one that I have not tried yet. I have the duplicates of those entrees in the box that I can just save for a later time. And same with the tortillas. So I might do that one, or I might do a rerun, so to speak, of the cream spinach fettuccine MRE. And the last time I did that one, I put some of the plain white chicken chunks. I have a pouch of that. So that's another option. But thanks for dropping in, Cliff. So I got a few options to think about. Or I could get into one of those tactical food packs now that I have those two. So since others are leaving, I think I'm going to go ahead and close this one out, call this one good. Again, I apologize for all the hiccups at the beginning. By the time that people are able to watch this one on replay, the title will have been fixed. So that's the next thing that I will do, is get that done. So who knows what I'll do next week? But I do want to thank everyone who came by for hanging out while I ate my supper. So do come back again next time if you can. Thanks for watching, and catch you on the flip side.